What's up, guys? Chris Duggar here again. This is my video log for this week. I was going to do it on Monday, but I focused on hitting the gym, and so I decided to do today. So here it is. One of the things I wanted to talk about today, well, the only thing, is probably the topic of most of the conversation I have with most people around me, and what I have the most on my video logs is dieting, and how important it is. And because you can go out and you can do all the crunches and sit-ups and pull-ups and running and cardio in the world that you want, but if you can't get the nutrition right, you got some problems. You know what I mean? And one of the big things, and I was talking to a friend of mine via Facebook the other day, and one of the things I learned over trial and error, and this might be common knowledge to people that have been on diets and understand how a diet's supposed to work, is that I never knew a diet was supposed to end. Was supposed to end. When I started the first 6 months into my year and a half, I said, okay, I'm going to go on a diet. No cheeseburgers, no cutting out carbs. People say cut out no carbs, go low sugar. And I did all these things, and I did lose weight, but there was no ending point to that diet. There was no, okay, this is what I started here, and now I have to end here. And what happened was I plateaued, and some people that are watching this and understand dieting, so of course you plateaued. You can't lose diet consistently forever. Eventually it's going to slow down. Your metabolism is going to get adjusted to everything, and that's exactly what happened to me. I almost hit a kind of a starvation mode, if you will, in my diet. Now, so I started in 6 months in, I cleaned it up, and I almost, at the end of that 6 months, I was pretty close to quitting. Like, I'm done with this diet. I'm done with exercising. I'm done with it altogether. And not because there was poundage coming off, but because I was so burned out with it. You know, I was just like, I cannot maintain this lifestyle. I can't do it. You know what I mean? Not like this. So what happened was I quit for a month. And I didn't go crazy. I didn't eat everything. But I maintained my weight. And then I said, you know what? I think I can do this again. You know what I mean? Maybe I did it wrong. So I went back on the diet. And for the next 2 months, I lost a consistent amount of weight, a pretty big amount of weight. And it was because I think I figured out that my body can my body adapted to the diet. And it started burning up muscle instead of fat. And even my friend Richard told me, he said, you've lost a lot of muscle mass. And I realized that because I was just dieting. You know? And so I didn't have no endpoint to this diet. So what I do now is if I decide to diet, I go 2 months on the diet, the strict diet that I lay out for myself. Then after that 2 months is up, like I said, I don't go crazy. I maintain my weight. So let's say I was at 200 pounds and I dieted for 2 months, and I lost 10, 20 pounds, what have you. You know what I mean? I lost a pretty good amount of weight. I would maintain myself at 180 pounds for the next month. I wouldn't go crazy, but I would maintain my weight. So that's how I kind of tackle my diet, because my body's efficient. I'm pretty sure everybody's body is like that. You know, I know everybody has different body types, but the body is so efficient, because if your body can function at 380 pounds and your heart's still beating, yeah, it might be barely beating, but it's still beating, you're still alive. So your body can learn how to adapt on a no-carb diet, or your body can learn how to adapt on a low-sugar diet, and eventually it's going to start taking out the stuff that it's used to taking out. You know, especially if you're not replacing it with something. You know, and that just comes down to the science of losing weight. Now, I don't know a lot about the science of losing weight, but what the progress that I've had is just from trial and error, and trying and failing and trying, and just kind of figuring out what works for me. Now, I got a friend named on my Facebook. His name is Jacob Freeman. He's with a company called Herbalife. He's a real motivational guy. He works for this company. They sell a lot of products. But what I like about it, when I was checking into him, was that there's not only products that he sells to lose weight, but to maintain your weight. You know, they're not even geared towards losing weight. It's more, you know, some of his products are to losing weight. But after the weight's gone, what do you do then? You know what I mean? Do you go back to your normal eating habits, or do you find a way to keep that weight off? You know? So, like I said, his name is Jake Freeman. Real motivational guy. I trust him a lot. I say check him out, because like I said, he sells products, and he has products that to keep you where you're at. You know what I mean? Rather than shooting you back up into more poundage. You know what I mean? Because there's always that thing, like, what do I do now? I've lost 100 pounds. What do I do now? Do I just keep dieting the same way, or do I find a way to maintain this 100 pounds being off? And that's real key. That's real important, you know, to keeping it off. So that's the way I would tackle my weight loss. That's how I tackle my dieting. Is I go 2 months on a diet, specific diet, and then after that 2 months is up, I maintain whatever weight I'm at for the next month, and it kind of lets my body reset itself. So for the next couple months, when I go back on the diet, it works better, it flows better. I get that consistent weight loss coming off. You know, I can measure myself out on that scale in the mirror and what I see. So that's kind of how I take it. And I have a friend named Marisa who's on my Facebook too. You know, she's a friend of my, she's a girlfriend of my friend Richard. You know, she used to tell me this thing all the time when we used to work out together. She used to tell me, and I used to take it as just whatever, but she used to tell me that excessive weight on you, or weight on you, fat, is like being in a bad relationship. You know, when you decide to get out of that bad relationship, hence losing the weight, there's something has to be there to replace it. You know, be it God or self-esteem or your family. You know, there has to be something there to replace it. So when you lose weight, there has something to be to replace that weight. And it's got to be muscle. It's got to be tonnage. You know, it's got to be the skin tightening. It has to be, or not, you're just going to have a void there. You know, so there has to be something to replace the bad thing. You know, the bad relationship, hence the bad fat on you. So there has to be something to replace it, and it's so important to me now. And it's what she told me sticks with me a lot now, because I understand what she was trying to get at. But guys, that's how I tackle my weight loss, or my diet is 2 months on, 1 month off. Maintain my weight for that month. Don't go crazy. Don't go out and eat. Chris said I could have cheeseburgers, because I didn't. But that's how I do it. Try and see if it works for you. It's just time. You know, that's all it is time. Because figuring out something, that's all it is just figuring it out. And when you figure out what works for you, man, you got it. All right? Stay healthy, guys. Bye.